Stop doing cardio like this. Sean here from Fit Fusion Brotherhood. I owned a gym for 10 years. I've coached thousands of clients, and cardio is one of the most misunderstood concept when it comes to fitness. So today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people believe in that just isn't true, and then 3 mistakes that go along with it. Now, the entire premise that I have an issue with is using cardio as your primary tool for fat loss. And a lot of people make this mistake, and it kind of makes sense because there has that visceral feeling of when you do cardio, you're sweating, you get the endorphins, you get the runner's high, the cardio high, you kind of feel like you're making progress. But cardio strictly for fat loss is not the most efficient way to do it. You're going to waste a lot of time, a lot of energy, and probably build up some injuries in the long run if that's all you're doing and you're not going to get the results you want. So really, there are 3 mistakes that people make when it comes to cardio and their fat loss goals. Number 1 is just trying to out-train a bad diet. We see this all the time where people use exercise, especially cardio, as a reward for eating foods that they maybe shouldn't have, thinking that they're just going to be able to burn off all those additional calories. Now, I like to do a bunch of challenges where I can kind of test to see how long it takes to burn a certain amount of calories, and while not a perfect exercise or a perfect calculation, it does give you some insight into how much effort it actually takes. So I did 1,000 calories of running, I did 1,000 calories of the assault bike, and I can tell you the amount of time and energy and effort and the exhaustion that it takes just to burn 1,000 calories, it's a lot. Comparing that to actually what it takes to take in 1,000 calories, not a lot. Okay, so if you're taking in extra food, the amount of exercise that you would have to do to burn that off takes a ton. And even if you are successful at doing that, it's going to take a ton of energy. It's going to beat down your body, but chances are you're probably not burning off anywhere near what you think. So don't use cardio as a tool to try to outrun or out-train a bad diet, because it does not work. If your diet sucks, you can do all the cardio in the world. Unless you're a professional athlete, you're going to struggle to lose fat. Number 2 would be doing hours of countless HIIT training, high intensity interval training. Now, when I owned a gym, originally I started as like a boot camp and as like a HIIT type of facility because HIIT was all the rage at the time. They showed all these studies where you would burn more calories doing HIIT. You have, they called like the afterburn effect. So even after your workout, you're still burning additional calories. And while these things are technically true, it's such a small difference, and it's not going to make up as many calorie burn as people think. Not only that, but if you're actually doing HIIT correctly, it's really difficult on your body, the wear and tear on the joints, but also the systemic fatigue, meaning it's very difficult to recover from it. So unless you're sleeping really well, you're drinking a ton of water, your protein and your diet is on point, you're not going to be able to recover from it, and it's not great for fat loss anyway. Not to say that it doesn't have health benefits, not to say that you shouldn't do cardio at all or HIIT at all, because it definitely has its place, but it's not going to get you where you want to be. And then the 3rd mistake is not doing strength training. So this kind of brings it back to my original point, whereas if you solely rely on cardio as a fat loss tool, it's not going to work. And neither will strength training. But at least what strength training does is it builds you that foundation. It helps build and maintain the muscle you have, which is one of, if not the only thing that you can do to actually boost your metabolism. So everyone always talks about how you can speed up your metabolism. The best way to do that is to pack on muscle. It's easy to screw up your metabolism. It's really difficult to build and speed up the metabolism. So strength training is one of those things that you absolutely should do, because if you're losing body fat and you're not strength training, chances are you're losing muscle as well, which is a bad trade-off, something that you don't want to do. So to kind of wrap things up here, not saying cardio is bad. Of course, I think cardio is great. It's one of the best things you can do for your overall health, especially your heart health. It's great for your mental health. And yes, it does burn additional calories, which can contribute to your fat loss. But it should not be the foundational element here. There are so many other things that you should focus on first before you start introducing cardio as that linchpin, as what's going to kind of break through that plateau. So nutrition should be the foundation. Exercise-wise, rather than cardio and strength training, which you should be doing, the most important thing when it comes to fat loss is just how much you're moving throughout the day. So tracking your steps, being active, moving around is going to burn a ton more calories than your cardio without the same systemic fatigue, without the beating up on the body that cardio is going to give you. And then 3rd, you should do your strength training as well, just as a foundational element to build and maintain that muscle. So cardio is great, not the sole thing that you should use as your fat loss tool. Sprinkle it in there, great for your health, great for your mental health, not the best or most efficient thing when it comes to fat loss. So Hopefully this video helps, guys. If you do enjoy videos like this, do us a huge favor, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.